Ah, c'est toujours pas ça. Bah si. Ah, c'est toujours pas ça. Bah alors... Bon, du coup... Mince, pardon. Du coup, on y va. C'est parti. Donc, en gros, je vous explique. Donc, j'ai commencé à jouer il y a genre 6 minutes. 7 minutes. Et... En gros, c'est l'histoire d'un employé qui fait le même travail, ça fait des années. Son travail, il est gaze, hein, honnêtement. Et en fait, dans son travail, on lui dit tout ce qu'il doit faire, tout ce qu'il est censé faire. C'est vraiment ça son travail. Genre, on lui dit des choses à faire et il les fait. Genre, en gros, il est devant un ordinateur et il doit cliquer sur les touches qu'on lui dit de cliquer. Sauf qu'un jour, comment ça s'appelle? Son lieu de travail est étrangement silencieux. Il n'y a plus aucun de ses collègues, il n'y a plus personne. Donc du coup, il se dirige vers le bureau de son boss. Il n'y a personne. Et là, il a découvert une cachette secrète. Donc qui est là, là on vient tout juste de descendre de la cachette secrète. On a pris un ascenseur spécifique. Donc on arrive là. Et en fait, pourquoi j'ai commencé à rec? Parce que tu sais, t'as une voix, t'as un narrateur qui décrit ce que tu dis et en même temps, enfin tu sais, en gros là, ce qu'il m'a dit, c'est que je dois aller au Mind Control Facility. Sauf que moi, je vois ici Escape, donc je me suis dirigé vers l'escape. Et il m'a fait, en gros, dans sa narration, il a dit Stanley se dirige vers la sortie, bien qu'il ait écrit sortie, la vérité c'est qu'il va mourir s'il prend cette décision. Et donc du coup j'ai eu chaud, du coup je me suis rétracté, j'ai fait demi-tour, et la voix off, enfin le narrateur il dit ah bah finalement Stanley a repris ses esprits et finalement il va partir. Donc du coup en fait tu vois, genre je sais pas, j'aime beaucoup. Du coup moi je t'avoue j'ai pas trop envie de suivre ce que la voix dit parce que surtout en soi, on va voir s'il va parler. Mais tu vois plus je me rapproche et plus il y a un son étrange, il y a de la musique. Là, il a dit que si je m'enfonce là-bas, je vais mourir. Mais je me dis, en fait, la voix, elle nous dicte, elle nous indique ce qu'on doit faire, chose qu'on a toujours fait. Donc, est-ce que il ne serait pas
The
judicieux...
door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn
Non!
around and get back on track.
Attends, attends quoi? Attends quoi? La porte, elle s'est fermée? Tu vois, en fait, tu vois ce qu'il fait? Tu vois ce qu'il fait? Tu vois ce qu'il fait? Vous voyez ce qu'il fait ou pas? Vous voyez ce qu'il fait ou pas? J'essaie de m'enfoncer dans le couloir, il veut pas? En fait, il me fait peur. Il me fait peur. Là, je pense que tu vois, si je m'enfonce dans le couloir, mais il n'y a pas de porte. Il n'y a pas de porte. Comment la porte pourrait se fermer s'il n'y a pas de porte? Je sais pas, les gars. Et moi, j'ai envie, hein, mais j'ai peur de. Attention, on est que à 6 minutes. En soi, on est que à 6 minutes. Donc, si on crève maintenant, c'est pas grave, on recommence. Mais en gros, là, il m'a dit, va pas là-bas, sinon tu vas crever. Et ben, je vais quand même là-bas. Parce qu'il y a écrit escape. Après, j'avoue, le but, c'est pas que je me escape, puisque, bah. À la base, je suis censée venir chercher des réponses.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Mais tu vois ce qu'il raconte? C'est ça qui me fait rire en fait. Ah. 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 J'hésite. Je suis en train d'hésiter là. J'aime pas cette lumière et je la trouve un peu trop menaçante à mon goût. Je suis en train d'hésiter là. Je suis pas un peu. Je suis pas tout à fait prête pour les screamers. Ah. Oula. Oh non. Oh non. Oh non.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
Mais
as
c'est quoi?
Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Papa, attends. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! Je me suis dit non.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Non, mais c'est une dinguerie, les gars. Les gars, ce jeu. I like. I really appreciate that. Attends, juste, je me retourne pour voir. Wow. I really appreciate that. Bah, je suis où là?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Purée, mais c'est dingue! Oh, mais c'est dingue! Attends, je visite un peu. Donc en gros, là, je suis dead, mais j'ai l'opportunité de revenir, évidemment. Mais sauf que là, en fait, je suis un peu... Là, je pense que je suis un... Bah... Ah non, c'est un tableau. Je suis un peu dans un endroit, tu sais, genre... Putain, c'est trop curieux. Mais what? Il y a tellement de choses à voir. Ouais, il y a trop de choses à voir, les gars. Fin relaxante. En fait, là, je suis arrivée, genre, dans une espèce d'endroit. Ah, je suis dans le musée du jeu. Ouais, c'est ça. Genre, je suis un peu comme dans un menu. Ouais, c'est super bien fait, j'aime beaucoup. Ah. Bande-annonce, nous avons publié 4 bandes-annonces sur le développement du jeu. Ouais, c'est ça, je suis dans le menu du jeu. Oh, c'est super stylé! C'est bad stylé. Par contre, j'avoue, j'aurais pas dû m'enfoncer un peu partout là. Mais du coup, là, je suis en train de me spoil un peu. Ok, vous savez ce qu'on va faire? On va... Je suis tellement en train de me spoil, les gars. On va essayer de retourner... Waouh, mais c'est big as fuck! On va essayer de retourner là où nous étions. Nous, notre bureau, c'est le 427. Ok. À quoi correspond ces portes? Ah, le bureau. C'est pas le premier, c'est pas le 2. Ah, c'est pas non plus ça. Bah. Où est-ce que je dois... Oula. Ah, peut-être c'est là. Non, même pas. Bah, je dois aller où? Il y a forcément un endroit où je peux relancer le jeu. Où est-ce que c'est? Je ne sais pas. Attendez, je vais monter tout en haut. En général, c'est quand tu montes que il se passe des choses. Ah, c'est là. Ça doit être là. Puisque mon bureau, c'est le 427. Ah. Attendez. Attendez, je retourne en bas. Purée, mais c'est dingue, je stream pour fucked up, genre. Mais what the heck? Attends, je vais retourner là-haut pour voir. C'est ton vrai. Ah, mais je peux pas. Bon, comment je fais pour back to the game? Please, help. Need some help. My god. Je stream quand je vais dead en fait. Bon, là je suis en haut. Là c'était mon bureau. Ah, exit. Eh ben c'est Tarpi. Ça doit être là.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Vraiment, ça l'avait pas
Can
trop
you
parlé.
see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Je comprends rien du tout.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Ouais, oh,
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
Mais attends, hein. C'est quoi ce bazar? Mais qu'est-ce que c'est En gros, soit je recommence, mais j'ai envie de continuer.
Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it.
Ok, non, vas-y. Mais en fait, j'ai envie d'entendre, elle a pas fini de parler. Ça m'intéresse ce qu'elle dit.
Don't let time choose for you.
Ok, c'est bon, j'ai compris. Vas-y, c'est bon. Vous savez quoi? On va tout recommencer. Comme ça, vous allez voir le début. Alors, donc voilà, j'arrive, je suis dans mon bureau. Je cherche tout le monde, y a personne.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Et tu vois, à chaque fois que je franchis les portes,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
tu vois, à chaque fois que je choisis une porte, les portes derrière elles se ferment. Là, il m'avait dit la dernière fois de prendre la porte de gauche, je l'ai écouté, j'ai pris la porte de gauche. Là, j'ai presque envie de prendre la porte de droite. Il va dire quelque chose. Non, vas-y, flemme. C'est bon, je suis morte une fois, ça y est. Stop. Stop en fait.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Le Batman. En gros, là, comme je connais le code, je l'ai inscrit direct, il me l'a notifié. Et normalement, le code était censé faire apparaître là, la salle,
Feeling
ascenseur.
soothed
Ah bah,
and
voilà.
rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
On va voir. Donc là, entrée secrète. Je vais prendre l'ascenseur du coup. Je trouve ça tellement beau. J'aime beaucoup la narration de manière générale.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Bon, là on y va pour le coup.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Bah, franchement, des télés, beaucoup. Le patron il espionne tout le monde. Sorry. On connaît tout ça. Par contre, attends. Sur les bureaux, il y a pas grand chose sur les bureaux. C'est tout curieux.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Moi, c'est quoi déjà 427? Ah, moi je suis employé 427. Quoi? Well.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Mais je comprends pas, il était heureux sur le fait qu'on lui dise quoi faire, je comprends pas. I don't understand. Attends, il y a des boutons là. Puis-je cliquer dessus? Ok, je peux rien faire dessus. Je peux rien faire dessus non plus. Ok, bah je vais avancer là-bas. Il se passe quoi en bas là? Pourquoi il y a des escaliers qui descendent, hein? Attendez, je vais prendre des escaliers qui descendent juste histoire d'explorer quand même. Allez, je remonte vite parce que j'ai chaud. Sorry. Sorry, my bad. Attends, juste... Bon, allez, je me casse. Après là, en fait, on veut comprendre pourquoi il n'y a personne.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Bah, moi à la base.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode,
Wow.
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not?
Mais pourquoi?
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Bah non.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this
Oh, le
room.
Batman.
These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
Ah là, il y a écrit
To
3.
see you made humble.
Ok, je dois appeler. Ah bah non.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Ah. Oh, c'est lourd. Oh, c'est lourd. En plus, il m'avait donné du temps. Ah, c'est vraiment un bâtard. Eh ben, on y retourne.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah. Bah.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Bah, j'ai débloqué un truc, au moins. Oui. Ah non. Ah. Super.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Mais qu'est-ce
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Of course. C'est bien.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Après, j'avoue, je suis pas tant prête pour le nouveau contenu, puisque j'ai même pas dépassé.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I give you the content, baby. Ah.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Alors attends, je vais pas y aller tout de suite. Ouais, en fait, c'est ça mon problème.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Ouais, attends. Vas-y, je rentre dans le 1. On va pas commencer à dériver, en fait, c'est ça mon problème. En fait, mon problème, c'est que j'aime trop dériver, j'aime trop tout découvrir. Et ben c'est super. Putain, je suis tellement pas en train de jouer au jeu là. Je suis sûr que je suis dans les extensions.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Par contre, il a parlé un peu trop vite, je trouve. Hein. Ah, c'est dommage, c'était si bien fichu. Thank you for enjoying
That's
the
it?
new content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
En vrai, faisons ça, hein. Franchement, là, je pense que je vais que l'écouter parce que là, ça suffit, en fait. Là, on est fatigué, c'est toujours la même chose. Là, on a marre. Où est-ce qu'on est encore, là? Là, on est fatigué, là, en fait. Là, on va...
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something.
Mais j'ai envie d'aller là-bas. Oh non, mais vous voyez, c'est ça mon problème. Attendez, je vais juste voir ça. Ok, bah vas-y, c'est bon, j'y vais. Eh, mais par contre, j'aime pas le narrateur. Je trouve qu'il est trop... Je trouve que le narrateur, il est maléfique. Je sais pas ce que vous en pensez.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Mais c'est pas grave.
Just our little secret. Take a look.
Vous savez, ça me fait rire parce que...
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Non mais en vrai ça me fume parce que je suis en train de tout faire sauf le jeu. Genre je suis en train de faire l'extension avant le jeu.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Franchement, c'est super bien fait. J'apprécie fortement la façon dont c'est montre. Tu sais, c'est un peu comme un musée.
Je suis dans la memory zone, seul sur l'abri des...
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Je descends, je monte, je descends, je monte, je monte. Je descends. Flemme. C'est bon, j'ai envie de jouer là. Je suis prête. I'm ready. Ah, ok. Appelle pas. Appelle pas.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh mon brave, tu parles, hein. Ah. Sérieusement. Pitié, là c'est bon, j'ai compris.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Oh là là.
What's this? What's down here?
Oh
no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Ah.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Les gars, je suis fatigué, les gars, je joue au jeu, je suis désolé, j'arrête. J'arrête, je vais écouter.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Après là, tu vois, je suis un peu content. Je me dis que ça se trouve quand je vais commencer le jeu, et ben j'aurai un skip button.
And here it is. Go!
Et merde.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think.
Allez, c'est bon.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Ouah.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Et merde.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Eh, je suis désolé là, my boy, but you speak too much.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved?
Eh, je suis désolé, I just want to skip that. Ah, il parle plus? Ah, il est mort.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed.
Ah, mais c'était pas là ça avant. J'attends une porte, hein. Je dis la vérité. Oh.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the...
Ah. Tiens. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose derrière? Neige? Il pleut. Ah. J'ai un peu peur de ce qui va se passer, tiens. Ah oui, dégâts des eaux. Est-ce surprenant? Non. Là, je suis en train de faire l'extension. Tout ça parce que je suis morte plusieurs fois. Je peux partir? S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît, oh. Oh, mais busy. Ah, est-ce que je peux grimper? porte? C'est une porte là-bas? Non, pas du tout. Ok. Well. Ah. Ah, Dieu merci. Te suivre la route. Vous allez me dire quelle route? C'est ma question, mais c'est posé ma question parce que j'ai pas. Ça, oui, c'est ça. Je vais dire à la base, c'est ça. Ah. Bon. Bon, bah cette fois-ci, c'est bon là. Cette fois-ci. C'est
All
bon.
of his co-workers were gone.
Allez.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. Ok, il y a encore un nouveau contenu, mais franchement là, stop. On verra ça plus tard.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes, because left is good. That is nobody. Oh my
Yet
God.
there was not a single person here
This is
either.
the boss.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, there is nobody here. Oh my God.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Lui-même, il en a marre. Merci, franchement, merci de m'avoir épargné ça, parce que franchement... Bon, cette fois-ci, c'est bon, on est plus. Cette fois-ci, on est bon pour le vrai. Ça suffit. On a marre. Ok.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ça me paraît tellement lointain, les gars, tellement... Lights. Let's go.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
En vrai, je me demande, le jeu, il dure combien de temps à la base, parce que j'avoue... Ça va faire 1 heure, je suis dessus.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Never.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
De quoi? Mais y a pas de porte. C'est ça celui de la porte.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Non mais Quoi? J'ai fini? Mais attends. J'ai payé combien déjà le jeu là? Après je pense que ça a une morale en vrai.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
En vrai,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
bon là il y a le new content. On peut faire le new content. Est-ce qu'il y a un choix que j'ai pas fait? Non, franchement j'ai... En vrai je pense que j'ai bien fait de faire n'importe quoi. Hein. Mais juste j'aimerais bien réentendre la voix féminine puisque...
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Putain les gars, c'est la première fois que je vais finir un jeu en stream. First time.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Écrit. Ouais, en fait, il y a une fin qu'on n'a pas fait. Le bouton dit... Attends, le bouton qui dit le nom du jeu... Attends. Ça y est, ça y est. Le bouton qui dit le nom du joueur qui joue au jeu. Cercle. Ah mais j'ai pas de cercle. Get here. 3 new and easy achievements. Pff, allez. Ah, il y a l'escape ici, l'exit ici pardon. Alors déjà je vais juste récupérer mes succès là. C'est super drôle. Free achievement.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Ok. Et bah, si. Si, merde, my bro. Bon, on va exciter.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Ah non, moi je suis désolé, j'ai une fin à aller voir là. Désolé, monsieur. En fait, le narrateur il est gentil. Moi je pensais qu'il était.
Oh goodness, Stanley, this is very awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to both the exhibits for the bucket and the collectibles. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves both of them. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles and the bucket, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Ah, c'est quoi ça? Please no screenshot. Ouais, c'est ça? Non, c'est pas ça. C'est où? C'est où ça? Ok, ici y'a rien. Enjoy. Il a dit les objets. Bah si ça c'est pas des objets, alors what it is? C'est quoi ça? Hop, c'est super. Bon, il m'a dit quoi lui? J'ai juste retenu les objets. Où sont les objets? Succès gratuit. Objet. Ah, objet à collectionner. Tout s'en fout. Objet à collectionner. Bah c'est ça, du coup, c'est ici, non? Ah oui, c'est là. Oh wow.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Bon. Ok. Thank you so much for that.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
So, now, can I escape? Can I go, please? Please? Ah, ça m'a l'air bon.
No? You're just going to ignore my advice? Fine. No fun new content for you then. You're the one who spent money on this game. So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Oh, le bâtard.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I have gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
Comment je fais pour
I
descendre?
wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it, No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Mais non. Mais les gars, c'est une dinguerie. Les gars, c'est une dinguerie. Là, on est directement au 2. Mais c'est quoi ce jeu? Ce jeu, il est incroyable. Par contre, commencer le jeu. J'ai pas commencé le jeu. Je vais retourner au bureau. Oh, Assassin's Creed, c'est loin. Oh, Assassin's Creed, c'est loin. Oh. Il est quelle heure là? Il est 21h. 21h combien? Ah mais non, il est 22h. Waouh. 22h. Ouais, oui. Avant de commencer, est-ce que je peux dire quelque chose? Merci d'avoir vraiment réglé l'heure les 2 fois où vous avez lancé le jeu. Tant de gens ne prennent pas cette étape au sérieux, ils laissent l'heure régler sur midi et basta. Mais vous avez pris le temps d'indiquer l'heure et je vous en suis reconnaissant. Je sais ainsi que vous vous souciez de votre expérience. Vous savez quoi? Je vais stop ici et je reprends dans quelques minutes. Je reprends un autre live. Je stoppe ce live aussi et puis je reprends l'autre live dans quelques minutes. On fait une pause quoi.